minute time. Where are we holding in the beginning? Okay, so now I want to tell you all another thing. That one of the first songs that we learned from Shlomo. First of all, how did I even get to Breslov? Not that I'm in Breslov yet, but how did I even get to Breslov at all? It was really through Shlomo. Because Shlomo, in those days, all he talked about was the Heilige of Nachman of Breslov. I says, who is this Nachman of Breslov? Who is this? So Shlomo sang this song, and this song, afterwards I realized, many years later, I remembered this song. I remembered that why this song meant so much to me. Nadine, you remember Ayin?
I know, of course.
So this song was one of the first songs we ever heard from Shlomo, and it goes like this. Everybody knows the song. Forgive me for stopping in the middle. We're stopping in the beginning, just for 1 second. The song says, "Eso einai laharim." I lift my eyes up into the mountains. Me'ayin yavo azri. And I didn't know what it meant until maybe 20, 30 years later. All of a sudden I realized, Me'ayin, because our friend Ayin, his name was Ayin. He was the one who brought us to Shlomo. And he brought it. Until then, we were living in a desert. We were living in an absolute midbar, because we didn't have a direction in our life. If a person is without Torah and without, so come back in another Gilgul, and maybe you'll make it, and maybe another one, and maybe another one, maybe thousands of them. I'll share with you, and because tonight we're only going to speak emes, nothing else. So when I was with the Rab on the north side of Shlomo a few years ago, and we learn every day in the morning, like 4:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to 5, 4:30, 5, whatever, half an hour, 45 minutes, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. The whole world is silent, is quiet, and in the house of the Rav is blaring Shlomo's melodies. The Rabbanit loves Shlomo's nigunim. So I'm hearing all these melodies, and in the meantime we're learning with the Rav, and I said to him, today is Shlomo's yortzeit, as if he didn't know, and he looked at me very strong, and he said to me, if it hadn't been for Shlomo, who knows how many Gilgulim you would have stayed a goy gamur. What does that mean? Okay, I would have been maybe Jewish, but not like a Jew is supposed to be. So then he said to me, and not only you, but thousands of other people, thousands. Maybe it's by now millions. We were in the minyan in Tinek, and at least half, if not more, of all the nigunim that they were singing were somewhere nigunim by young kids. But we have to sing the soul of the songs, Okay, so let's go back again. Me'ayin yavo azri, because help came from Ayin. My friend Ayin, he brought us to Shlomo. And I'm telling you, in 1 minute, in 1 second, a person's whole life could change for the good. In 1 second, that's all it takes. You just wake up. Yeah, that's what we have to do. So Hashem will help us now. We have a few seconds now. We're here together. Let's wake up completely. And if we can really be achdut together, PSS now, Breslov, Viznitz, whatever there is in the world, every shade of Yiddishkeit, you want to call it modern Orthodox, whatever you want to call it, Yidden together, If we're together, we can bring the Geula. May it be tonight. There was another one short story. This is a true story. We were there when it happened. Shlomo was in Berkeley, and he was at the hotel, and he had one room for himself and one room for all the chavra. So the chavra was like maybe 50, 100 people in one little room, and everybody that came into the room. So someone would get up from his stool, he was sitting on a little stool or something, and he would get up and he would go over and give him a hug. So all of a sudden this boy came into the room, and he wasn't so beautiful. Like his face was all broken out. He looked terrible. And Shlomo saw that he came into the door, and he quickly went like on the back of behind the door, like, and he was sitting down in the corner. And Shlomo told us the story. Afterwards, he said, I said to myself, Baruch Hashem, he moved into the side, and he hid right away as soon as he came in, because I could never hug him. He looked so terrible. And then Shlomo says to himself, Shakranata, you're a liar, you hug everybody except for somebody that really needs to be hugged. That's how you are. So he said, get up and go over and hug him. And Shlomo forced himself, he got up, he went over to this boy, and he put his arm around him and he said, brother, I'm so happy that you came. And he gave him a big hug. He says, I felt his tears going down into my beard. And Shlomo started, the boy sat down and he was sitting closer now this time. He had a smile on his face and he didn't look so ugly anymore. And then all of a sudden this melody came down from Shemayim. Leman Achi Verei, for the sake of my brothers and friends. Because why do people not look so good? Because nobody really, they don't think that anybody cares about them. So Shlomo was given a gift because Shlomo's songs were from heaven. Because they weren't lined with kesef. You know? People sing very nice songs, but they're thinking about all the money that they will get, and they'll become famous and they'll make money. But Shlomo it wasn't what he was doing. All the money he had, he gave it away anyway to all the beggars that very night. He just had enough money to make it, to maybe get on the next plane. So let's sing the song together, and Shem Yazor, we can put our arms around somebody that really needs it.
tov lach Leman ben Hashem Elokeinu Kavach shatov lach O-do-do-do Because of my brothers and friends, because of my brothers and friends, please let me ask, please let me sing peace to you. Because of my brothers and friends, because of my brothers and friends, please let me ask, please let me sing peace to you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. Please join me. Oh, da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Oh, da 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 da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Give me good harmony. Oh, da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Oh, da 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 da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Oh, da da da, da da da, da da da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Oh, da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Leman Achi Verei, Leman Achi Verei, Adabrana, Adabrana, Shalom Ba. Leman Achi Verei, Leman Achi Verei, Adabrana, Adabrana, Shalom Ba. Leman ben Hashem Elokeinu, Kavach shatov lach. Leman ben Hashem Elokeinu, Kavach shatov lach. Please join me. Oh, da 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 da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, da da. Oh, da 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 da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, la la. Oh, da da da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, la la. Oh, da 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 da, oh, da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da, la la.
I heard this story from his son, and then I afterwards heard the story from him himself. The story is in 1968, Shlomo gave a concert in Kibbutz Ayelet HaShachar. Kibbutz Ayelet HaShachar was they call a shomer tzayir. It was like what they call a left wing. I don't know what left wings and right wings. You need both wings. Birds don't fly without two wings. But this was, they called it a left wing kibbutz. And so someone gave a concert there, and I heard because the son afterwards, who was a child at the time, he got a tape of it and he made it into like a disc and he gave it to us. It was incredible. So they were mamash flying and this person was on the kibbutz. His name was Shlomo called him Yitzchak. He was at this concert. He was a member of this kibbutz, and from that day on, he only had music of Shlomo's records in his house. And he had two boys, and they both grew up on these songs. So many years later, our oldest son Menachem made a kollel on this kibbutz. There were about eight or nine young men that were learning in this kollel from this kibbutz, and one of them was Yishai. He was the son of Yitzchak, and he told my son the story, and then afterwards he came and he told me the story, and then afterwards he brought his father to our house in Chumash Tishit in Yerushalayim, and Yitzchak himself told us the story. So what's the story? 1968, Shlomo gave a concert in this kibbutz. He bought records of Shlomo and he played all of this music. And his fast forward to 1973. 1973 was the Yom Kippur War in Eretz Yisrael. Wars are not so pleasant, you know. It sounds, you know, you see in the movies it looks great, but in real life it's not so pleasant. We were there on Migdal, and Migdal is right on the Kinneret. We saw planes. How do you say fighting?
Fighter planes.
Fighting. How do you say it?
Fighter planes.
Fighter planes. Get the Syrians and the Israeli planes right over the Yom Kinneret.
Few.
You were there at the
I
time?
was there.
Wow. Remember, we went out, and me and Gedalia would go out and play guitar for all the soldiers. There was a street, there was a road behind our house in Migdal that usually there were two tractors that went on this road. You were also in Migdal, remember? So there was this road behind our house, and usually two tractors a day would go on this. One would go up and one would come back, and that was it. The Americans, Hashem, they should do tshuva b'ez Hashem. So they decided, why all the time the Israelis are always winning the wars? Let the Arabs win one time, you know. So they didn't tell Israel that the Arabs were planning to attack. They kept it a big secret. They went down to some bunker. I won't say names, but they were sitting there drinking, I don't know, 770 or 771, I don't know what it is, it's some kind of whiskey or something.
777.
Yeah, something like that. And anyway, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I can't vouch for what they were doing. But they didn't tell the Israelis what was happening. Syria was advancing, they came to the Gesher Benot Yaakov in the Ramat Golan, and no Israeli tanks were there, no opposition. And Hashem put it into their minds of the Syrians that it was a trap by the Jews. They were going to ambush them. The truth is that there was nobody there. Afterwards, years later, I found that one of my friends in the yeshiva that I learned with is such a Talmid Chacham, simple. He was niftar just 2 years ago. A very big tzaddik. And he was so quiet, he was mamash learning day and night. Afterwards I found out that he was one of the first soldiers of Israel. He was at that time not religious, from a kibbutz in the Negev. And he went up to the Ramat Golan. He single-handedly knocked out 19 Syrian tanks. You couldn't, if you would see him, you couldn't believe it, you know. He's just such a gentle guy, you know. Anyway, B'kitzur, this is going on here, and then the war kept going on. It didn't end for weeks. It was going on. A lot of stories to tell about this, but the one story I want to tell you now is that Yitzchak, after the war was like quieting down, he was in a jeep, and they were how do you say, they were
surrounding him.
No, it wasn't the battle. The battles were already over. He was like going in reconnaissance, whatever, I don't know what the word is. They were riding in this jeep, and they were going over a minefield, and they didn't know that it was a minefield, and the jeep hit a mine, it exploded, and 2 people were killed on the jeep. 1 person escaped without nothing, and Yitzchak was very, very badly wounded. He had to have both of his legs amputated, and he had, p'tzayim, shrapnel all over his face. So he had bandages on his face, and he was in very bad shape. He was in Tel HaShomer hospital, and obviously he was on very heavy medication, morphine or whatever the strongest thing they had in those days, and he called in the nurse. And he said to the nurse, he says, my friend Shlomo Carlebach is here in the hotel. Tell him that Yitzchak from Ayala Shachar wants to see him. So the nurse went to the office there in the hotel, in the hospital, and they said, he's taking very heavy drugs. It must be that he's just imagining, Shlomo Carlebach is not here. He's not in the hospital. For sure, not here. So they came back, and the nurse came back and told Yitzchak, he's really not here. Yitzchak said, he says, I know that he is here. I know I can hear him singing. So she didn't know what to do. Somehow they were looking around in the neighborhood, maybe somebody in the neighborhood. It turned out that Shlomo was giving a concert in Ramat Gan, right near the hospital there in Tel HaShomer, Ramat Gan. So they said, what? So they sent a messenger from the hospital, and they came up and they gave Shlomo a petek. He's standing there by they used to have these microphones that stand up, like now they have, it's different, but whatever it was, they had this microphone there. And Shlomo's standing there with a guitar, and he reads this message, and he said, Yitzchak from Tel HaShomer is in the hospital, he's wounded very much, and he really wants to see you. Shlomo reads the message, he looks out at the people, and he says, listen, my friend Yitzchak is in the hospital, he really needs me now. You can all get your money back. I'm leaving. He walked right off the stage, and he went right to the hospital. He went right to the hospital to see Yitzchak. And he came over to him, and he put his head and his beard on Yitzchak's chest, and Yitzchak said, he was in my house. So all the kids, on that street, that alleyway, they see they're carrying somebody up in a wheelchair without legs, and then all the kids are gathered around, watching what's going on here. But Yitzchak came to our house, and he told us the story. He said, Shlomo put his head on my chest, his beard, and he says, I felt his tears going into my heart. He said, that was the beginning of my recovery. Okay. And we don't know how much we can do, So that's what they say. What was the whole story of Noach? It says, Noach, when afterwards he brought carbonot after the flood, he said, but he was so heartbroken. He was so heartbroken because now he realized that if I would have just cared a little bit more about the people, and if I would have prayed a little bit more, I could have saved them. The Rab said that that if Noach would have not gone into the Teva, and he says, I'm not going in, I'm waiting here with everybody. I refuse to leave them, until Hashem will have mercy upon them. He said, these people, as bad as they were, and I know you are all good people, but I know myself, I'm not so good, If I would only do tshuva, so we could really, Rashi says that it was mei chesed, it was water of chesed was coming down. If the people would do tshuva, it would have been gula. So Noach didn't pray. He didn't pray for the people, and he realized that he didn't pray enough. He says, so now it's up to us. If each generation we're given another chance. Now it's our chance. Let's not blow it. Everybody still have another day, another night. As they sing. Okay.